those who weren't involved racing onto the pitch to celebrate. Likewise, Hasan Salihamidzic. Leave it to the young magician, Jamal Musiala. There it is. Bayern are the champions again. It is for Bayern München, 11 titles in a row.
The pain of yesterday is the motivation for tomorrow. And from now on, this is part of our story. And what we said, the new season is not starting. We just keep going.
It couldn't have been much crueler for Borussia Dortmund last season. That incredible run in 2023, putting them in touching distance of the title. But in the end, it slipped through their grasp. Here is Archie Rintot speaking with Dortmund coach Edin Terzic.
Thanks, Kay. Edin, good to see you again. Welcome back home, I guess. I have to address the way that last season ended. How do you use that experience for this new season?
Yeah, I think I mentioned it straight after the games. We've been very close, especially by the final game of the season, and now we are 34 games away to make it happen. And so we're going to try one more time, and we are here. You can see the supporters are with us. It's an unbelievable support that we received, and so we are ready to fight for the new chance.
Are you surprised by that noise again? It sends tingles up my spine, and I'm not a Dortmund fan.
I'm not surprised. I know that this fans are extraordinary, and this is something that we want to pay back.
To the game today, you've spoken about how Köln are hungry, how they're courageous and unpleasant to play against. How does that work tactically for you to counteract?
Yeah, we know, especially the last, I think, 6 games in the Bundesliga have been always very tight. Only the final game that we have here, we eased up the pressure by scoring early goals, but we know that it's going to be an intense game, it's going to be a tough fight, and we know that we have to have a good performance, and they like to press, very high, so we have to be very active, we have to be ready to play with 1 or 2 touches. That means that we need options, we need to be really on our toes, and then we have to use our chances, and if we do that and keep a clean sheet, then we're going to have a great opportunity to win the first game of the season.
When it comes to what your team does here today, Marcel Sabitzer, new signing, what's he going to bring?
Yeah, Marcel is a very experienced player. He was club captain at RB Leipzig. He's the captain of the Austrian national team, and he's playing on this level for many, many years. And we know that he's not only really good in the offense, where he can accelerate with 1 touch, where he can accelerate with good dribbling. He have a great vision. He have a great shot from distance, but also in terms of the ball. When we try to win the ball back, in terms of counter-pressing, in terms of second balls, he's one who likes to do that job, and he's doing the things on the pitch that are important, not maybe the most sexiest way, but he's doing the things that are important, and this is really good for us.
Just finally, Marco Reus has done very many sexy things on the pitch for Borussia Dortmund over the years. What shape's he in now? Giving up the captaincy, I guess, is a big thing for him. How does he fit into the plans this season?
Yeah, first of all, he was here when we extended his contract. He told us that he's not finished yet, and this is what we found out straight from the start. He was one of the players that are with us from day 1 in the preseason. The national team players came 10 to 14 days later, but he's there. He looks great. He's in a great shape. He had a good preseason, and hopefully he can continue like this by having good things tonight.
Just finally, is Gio okay? What's the latest on him?
Yeah, Gio is okay, but Gio is not game ready at the minute, so he didn't train with the team. So we hope that he can join us next or the week after. And yeah, he's on a good way. He's doing his running program. He's working on his fitness level, and now we hope that he's going to be pain-free and that he can help us.
We're glad to hear that. All the best, Edin. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
As ever, back to you, Kay.
Well, as you can see, the yellow wall is out in force, and Borussia Dortmund are getting set for another title challenge, especially after the heartbreak of last season. We will be back very shortly as we gear up for the latest game in the Bundesliga. This time it's Borussia Dortmund against Köln.
analyzing a big bank's data no big deal?
Go on.
Well, what if you partner with IBM and Red Hat, use a hybrid cloud solution to connect data across clouds, then analyze all that data with Watson?
Okay, but this needs to meet our
Security standards? Yep.
compliance standards.
Mm-hmm.
So they get the insights they need.
Yep.
In real time.
Check.
To make quick decisions.
Check.
And check.
That's the solution IBM and a global bank created. What will you create? IBM. Let's create.
Hey, Cover Girls. Plant Power? It's a game changer. Introducing the ultimate plant-powered mascara called Cleantopia. 300% extreme lush volume with 100% plant cellulose fibers. Let's go to Cleantopia. New Lash Blast Cleantopia from CoverGirl.
The thought of getting screened for colon cancer made me queasy.
But now I've found a way that's right for me. Feels more easy.
My doc and I agreed. I picked the time. Today's a good day.
I screened with Cologuard and did it my way.
Cologuard is a one-of-a-kind way to screen for colon cancer that's effective and non-invasive. It's for people 45 plus at average risk, not high risk. False positive and negative results may occur. Ask your provider for Cologuard.
I did it my way.
Life needs great teammates. Be there for yours. With retirement, benefits, and life insurance products, Symetra is your teammate for whatever lies ahead.
Feel the difference with players built different. Every player in Madden 24 is built different with Sapient technology.
The grass is greener. The stakes are higher. The pressure has been building for months. Golf is sending its best forward. The finest pros swinging for glory. Playing for the PGA Tour's ultimate prize.
McIlroy wins the FedEx Cup.
The FedEx Cup playoffs on ESPN+.
Dortmund is the largest city in Germany's Rhine-Ruhr region in the northwest of the country and has changed greatly since its prominence as a centre of coal mining and steel manufacturing. Its football club Borussia Dortmund is the heartbeat of the city, one of the most successful clubs in German football history and one of the best atmospheres in world football as well. The yellow wall, something to behold. What a great atmosphere it is at this ground, Lutz.
Yeah, it's intimidating for the opposition. You know, you enjoy playing there, but you know the atmosphere will take over. They always really have this 12th man atmosphere, and yeah, I mean, I believe it's probably one of the top 3 in the world to play.
We did just hear from Edin Terzic, pitch side there. Just a little word on how good he is with his younger players and how much success he had in that department. He just seems to know how to deal with those guys.
Yeah, number one, he's from the region. You know, he's a local kid, so he sleeps, eats, breathes and drinks the club. And even more important, he's a young guy. He speaks the language of the young players. They see more than just a coach. He's also really a person of trust. They can talk about other things as well with him. He has that, I would call it the X factor as a coach, especially with youngsters. And also the older players respect him, which makes him the real deal.
Marco Reus, obviously in this lineup today, stepped down as captain. Emre Can's going to be captain now as his replacement there. What did you make of that situation?
I think it's a great sign actually by Marco Reus. He didn't play all the games last year from the start. He also was on the bench. He gets a little bit older, but whenever he's on the field, he's the leader. He is the captain. I would say he's the backdoor captain in the end of the day. So to initiate that by himself, like, you know, it's a brilliant way, because that's a true leader to actually realize that right moment to give it over to Emre Can, who plays on a position in the center of midfield, who really can lead the team all the time.
Just getting ready to see the teams coming out onto the pitch, and what an atmosphere they are coming out to today. It is Borussia Dortmund taking on Kkoln. Our boys in the booth today, Derek Ray and Stuart Robson.
Thank you very much, Kay. Hello, everyone. In 5 days' time, we'll be celebrating 60 years of the Bundesliga. And fitting that the first Saturday Spiel of the season brings together 2 of the founder clubs with colossal support.
They both embody the principle of football as it's meant to be. Borussia Dortmund, scorers of the very first Bundesliga goal against Werder Bremen back on the 24th of August 1963. Erster FC Köln, the original champions in that inaugural campaign. It is a classic Westduell, a Western duel. The two cities just over an hour apart. And both Dortmund and Köln were participants in the so-called Herzschlagfinale, the heartbeat final day, when the Schwarz-Gelben came up agonizingly short against Mainz. Köln almost handed them the title with a brave showing versus the eventual champions, Bayern. So here they come on what is a pleasant early evening for football in the Ruhrpott, this bustling industrial part of Germany. Köln certainly the underdogs, but a hard-working team under Steffen Baumgart. Stuart, how well equipped are Dortmund to make a run at the Meisterschale this time around?
Well, they've got every chance. They're still a good side. Yes, they've lost Jude Bellingham. We heard all about that in the pre-match show. But they've still got a very good midfield. Emre Can and Savitz are in that central area. Royce, who we heard Lutz talk about being a key player. He can make runs beyond Haller. And they've got good players in the wide areas. They've got every chance of challenging once again this season.
The view from on high. This magnificent stadium. More than 80,000 in attendance. And here BVB. The Borussia Dortmund anthem. Köln, who finished 11th with 42 points, staying up comfortably. Only 2 defeats in the final 9 matches last season. Not too many changes in the Dortmund squad. We've spoken at length about Jude Bellingham. Others are going to have to cover up for his absence, but it's still a very capable group of players. And Emre Can is the brand new captain. Marco Reus having handed over the armband, but he'll, there he is, hope to play a significant role right off the bat. The sun actually just peeking through the clouds now, has been overcast for most of the day here in Dortmund. Dennis Eitekin is the referee. And if you ask most of the Bundesliga players who the best referee is, they usually point to this man. Works in the business field, but is also a part-time DJ.
Does he play your sort of music, Derek?
All the time. And I've told him that as well. Now, August, a month for optimism, for hope, for positive thoughts. Everyone starts afresh and from scratch. Here in Dortmund, it is very much a new dawn, a new day, a city and region that lives and breathes raw football passion, ready for the emotional highs and sometimes lows that are part and parcel of following the Schwarz-Gelben. Look at the Südtribüne, the yellow wall, more than 24,000 in that section of the Signal Iduna Park. And Edin Terzic, the man who guided Dortmund to the edge of heaven. Köln, like Dortmund, an emotional fireball of a club, 4th in terms of total members here in Germany. The first Saturday Topspiel of the 2023-24 Bundesliga season, the 61st Bundesliga campaign, and Dortmund versus Köln is the perfect fixture when it comes to emphasising authenticity and tradition. Early touch for Niklas Süle, who came through his fitness test. Mats Hummels by his side in central defence. And they have a new left-back this season in Rami Bensebaini. Previously with Borussia Mönchengladbach, Rafael Guerreiro has left for Bayern. Emre Can getting stuck in, as is his wont. Stuart, for you, what will be the keys to this intriguing contest?
Well, first of all, we've already seen the two fullbacks get forward quite a way for Borussia Dortmund. It does mean that the two centre-halves could be left one-on-one at the back at times, and that's a worry with the lack of pace from Hummels.
Luca Waldschmidt for Köln. Lea Pacarada, who's the newcomer, and big shoes to fill, because he's the new man on the left-hand side, with the legendary Jonas Hector having retired.
Well, there was talk that they were going to play with a back three, Kkoln, but that's not the case. It's a back four. And the new player coming in, Carstensen, is going to play on the right-hand side of midfield.
And they are very much a back four side under Steffen Baumgart. But we did wonder what constellation he would choose for this difficult opening test here in Dortmund.
Surprising that Waldschmidt is going to play on the left-hand side, and Keitz is going to try and play as close as he can to Selke up front. Selke, the big striker.
Trying to knit a few passes together, Köln. Davy Selke was an injury doubt. Big part of the way they play. They like to get crosses in. Number one last season, Köln, in terms of distance covered, averaging 119 kilometres per game. Mats Hummels, and here again is Niklas Süle, 5 times champion, this time at Bayern. That one squirts out of play. You can see the Köln fans in the Gästeblock, the visitors section away to our right. Around 7,000 of them here. It's one of the great things about German football. It's not just about the home crowd, always large away supports and provision for that. Usually get around 10% of the total capacity. Daniel Mahlen really was in the form of his footballing life towards the end of the last campaign. Hummels.
Also saw him in a pre-season game against Manchester United where he scored a couple of goals, 2 winning goals in fact.
Yes, I know, Stuart, you spent a bit of time around Borussia Dortmund. I'd be interested to get your insights. I know quite a few of our viewers saw them in the flesh in the United States during that aforementioned summer tour. They were unbeaten on tour, and a handy win for starters in the DFB-Pokal, the National Knockout Cup competition, against Schott Mainz by 6-1. But now it's all about Bundesliga business. Julian Brandt for Sebastian Aller. Benze Baini, a bit more defensive-minded than Rafael Guerreiro was in terms of interpretation on that left-hand side, and it grinds to a halt here. The shrill whistle of Dennis Eitigen.
Yeah, interesting decision. Brandt had played the ball wide, was running into the box, and he just went into the back of one of the defenders. Referee saw it as a foul.
Sun just disappearing. The same thing happened, by the way, this time last season. We were here for Dortmund against Leverkusen, and bright sunshine. We're looking right into it at this time of the early evening. So we've had to pull out the sunglasses and the hats.
Yeah, it's not a pretty sight sitting next to you at the moment, Derek, with your hat and glasses on.
Never was fashion forward. And he's trying to get in behind the Dortmund defence. Florian Kainz, of course, can do untold damage.
And that's what I was talking about. Kainz is playing through the middle almost with Selke. Waldschmidt has come to the left-hand side. He's got that bit of pace to run in behind Hummels.
And it was Rasmus Carstensen who was up there as well. Newcomer for Köln. Electric atmosphere. Marco Reus, as I mentioned, no longer the captain. Only 6 goals last season. He had his injury problem. Is Dortmund to the core. Grew up here in this magnificent football city. Almost a bit too hot for Mats Hummels to handle. I must say, Hummels finished last season very well. Was a bit sloppy earlier in the campaign. And Julian Hierson had the legs taken away from him on that. And Julian Hierson had the legs taken away from him on that occasion by Pacarada.
Well, Pacarada thought he could win the ball. I'd like to see it again. I think Hierson steps across the challenge here. He lets the ball run. It's not a good challenge, but it's not a dangerous one either.
Leart Paccarada, previously with St. Pauli in the Zweite Bundesliga, the second division, actually set up 15 goals in 95 games in the Zweite Bundesliga by means of crosses.
We also saw him play at left back on occasions last season.
Yeah, Ryerson is versatile. Can play on the right, can also operate on the left. Here's Niklas Süle. And Ryerson, former Union player, Norwegian international. Süle. We'll see the shape of the Kkoln side with that back four, but others occasionally having to scurry into reverse, the likes of Erik Martel. Süle trying to pick a pass. Here's Malen. And down he goes. Optimistic roar from the Dortmund fans around us, but Dennis Eitekin wasn't the slightest bit interested.
Paccarada, I think, the player that made the challenge. Good run from Malen. That's what you expect from him on the right-hand side, making those little outside-to-in runs. The referee decided it wasn't a penalty.
Now here's Florian Kainz. He's the new captain of Köln. And Waldschmidt on loan from Wolfsburg. He's been a man of many clubs down the years. Undeniably talented, but a bit of an up-and-down career. Perhaps he can find a true home in the Darmstadt, in the city of Köln. Julian Brandt. Schmitz is going to have to cover up. It was Hubers drawn out of position there, and away by Kainz. Emre Can. A born winner, Can, in the words of Edin Terzic. Süle. Now Hummels. Ben Sebaini for Julian Brandt, who's very much the form player for Dortmund for the early part of the Rückrunde. Very important German word you need to know about the second half of the season. Hinrunde is the first part of the campaign. All nice and concise. Malen. And foiled there by Jeff Chabot. They were able to sign him permanently. The deal had already been done, previously on loan from Sampdoria since January 2022.
Here's that run into the box. Yeah, I think the referee's right. He just lost control of the ball. There was the cross into the box from Julian Brandt. Had a good season last year, yeah. Brandt. A couple of seasons ago he looked as though he'd fallen away, but came back to his best performances last year.
Now the sun is back out in all its glory. Ben Sebaini. Ljubicic having to do the defending there. And Martel managed to get it away, but not decisively. Reis for the Schwarz-Gelben. The black and yellows of Borussia Dortmund. And they get off to a flying start as Bayern, the defending champions, did last night. We were with them up in Bremen. 4-0, the ultimate margin of victory. Reis just left it. Marcel Sabitzer. His first Bundesliga appearance wearing the colours of Borussia Dortmund. Around 20 million euro changing hands as he made the move from Bayern. Hummels. Moving away from Davy Selke. Can with the pass, but nobody in the vicinity, just overcooked it. Benno Schmitz for Köln. And Selke taking a knock.
Silly challenge really from Hummels. No chance of winning the ball. Selke just isn't given a nudge in the back by the veteran centre-back. They appealed for a handball, there certainly wasn't.
Jeff Chabot hails from Hanau, not far from Frankfurt. Marvin Schwebe, an excellent goalkeeper for Köln. Even talk about him possibly getting a call up soon for Germany. And offside is the decision here. Early sparring stages. Dortmund and Köln on match day 1 in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, tight decision. Just needed to play that ball in behind Hummels. That's still the weakness, I think, for Dortmund. We heard Arne Friedrich, we heard Lutz Vanenstiel talk about the defensive problems that Dortmund have had over previous seasons. Is it a surprise that Schlotterbeck isn't playing today?
Well, it's been the case that Schlotterbeck has had his injury problems as well. And they are, you might say, spoiled for choice. We wondered if Zule would make it. Has made it.
Zule, another player that played out of position on occasions last year at right back.
Daniel Malen tried to beat Chabot Rierson and didn't quite have the overdrive to get there. Bensebaini.
He's a character, the coach of Köln.
Very much. Stefan Baumgart. Of course, wearing that Schiebermütze, the name of the hat. And Stuart, I think your hat is in the Schiebermütze range. Here's Reus and Malen, but through it goes to Schwebe. 0-0.
Almost very good play by Marco Reus. That's what he can do. He just picked up the pace. Try to play it into Malen, and again Malen let the ball run onto his right foot, just needed a better touch. But he does find space, the right-sided midfield player or attacking player.
Timo Hübers scored a very stylish brace towards the end of last season against Hertha, the Friday night game in Köln-Müngersdorf. Of course, known for his defensive resilience. In a second spell with FC, as they're widely referred to. Never any great mystery, certainly in the Rhineland when people talk about FC. Here's to FC Köln. Two of the great German clubs.
Well, they first came into my mindset at a young age when a player I played with, Tony Woodcock, joined FC Köln from, at the time, Nottingham Forest, who were champions of Europe.
Well, I used to watch Köln a lot at that particular time as a young student. The likes of Toni Schumacher, Pierre Littbarski, later Thomas Hessler. Twice Bundesliga champions. And they're headed back the way by Bensebaini. I think it stands to reason, Stuart, that they are going to be more defensively solid this season, Dortmund, with Bensebaini on the left.
Well, he's quick, that's for sure. He's good in 1v1 situations, but he does like to get forward as well. So they might leave themselves exposed at the back. That's why Emre Can is just playing that little bit deeper at times between the two centre-backs.
Interception there by Erik Martel, quickly trying to release Carstensen, the newcomer. It's Ljubicic going after it. And away with the ball comes Mats Hummels.
See, there was an example. Emre Can had gone back into a third centre-half position, and when he played the ball forward, he gave it away, and then it was played down the side of him, and Carstensen didn't really make the most of it. Hummels came across eventually.
Oh, such heartbreak for Dortmund on the final day. We shouldn't forget about the form they were in for most of the second half of the season. They kept it going. Yes, there were a couple of slip-ups which many focused on. Ultimately losing only on goal difference. And they have the likes of Youssoufa Moukoko on the bench. Here's maybe a chance for Köln, maybe a sniff of something. Oh, fighting for it. Was Carstensen one of the players in there? Nothing comes of that.
think this is a big clash between Royce and his own player here. Well, no, actually, could easily have been given as a free kick against Martel. He's very much the holding midfield player for Kkoln, number 6.
Used to be on the books of RB Leipzig. Eric Martel would have a spell on loan at Austria Vienna. And Kkoln a bit uncertain about what their future transfer plans might be. There's the possibility of a transfer ban. They're hoping to avoid it. Case to be ruled upon by the Court of Arbitration for Sport. And here's Ljubicic slipping it through. Davy Zelke for Kkoln. Oh, and off the top of the crossbar. It took a deflection. And a real scare for Dortmund.
Brilliant, brilliant from Kkoln. They won the ball back. Good one-touch passing. Ljubicic with the pass, and he just evades the challenge. And the player on the ground, it's Zula, actually hits him almost on the, might hit him on the knee and takes it over the crossbar. What a chance that was.
Well, they were willing it in, the Köln fans, and Steffen Baumgart so near at a corner here. First for Köln, right in front of the yellow wall. Waldschmidt looking for the touch on from Carstensen. Bakarada with the pass for Benno Schmidt. Scored a cracking goal in the cup win on Monday against Osnabrück. Kainz, who knows how to control the ball and how to cross a ball. Out it comes Chabot. Oh, he also scored corker of a goal on Monday at the Bremer Brücke against VfL Osnabrück in the DFB-Pokal. And play on here, says Dennis Eitikin. It's Reus. Sabitzer, scrap really simmering now. Reus trying to manoeuvre his way through, and Sabitzer won't get there. Through it goes to Schwebe. Lively here between Dortmund and Köln.
Well, the game suddenly opening up. Big chance for FC Köln. The game is being played at a very high tempo, but you can see the problems for Borussia Dortmund. When they give the ball away in midfield, they're too easy to counter-attack. The fullbacks are high up the field. Emre Can, yes, the holding midfield player, but I don't always think he's blessed with great mobility. People can run off the back of him.
Bakarada, man who represents Kosovo at international level, 25 caps. As I mentioned, having to succeed Jonas Hector, not easy. He's been watching a lot of Hector, says he loves the videos he's taken in. Martel trying to win that little joust. Can. Sabitzer. And Aller hasn't got involved as much as Dortmund fans might like. Such an emotional first season here in the Ruhrpott. He was diagnosed with testicular cancer, and everybody in football wished him well. Managed to come back within 6 months, and I'll never forget the feeling when he netted against Freiburg on World Cancer Day as well.
Here's the chance again. Zelka did everything right, held off the first challenge. Zula actually goes to ground a bit too early, but he gets lucky. And you just mentioned Haller has hardly touched the ball. Zelka has had a chance and had 3 or 4 really good touches so far.
Yeah, he's found Köln very much to his liking, Davy Zelke, since joining in January. And the whistle again of Dennis Eitikin. Carstensen, the player being called over here.
Well, both players were having a little tug at each other's shirts. Goes Dortmund's way. Yeah, he's absolutely right. Vincent Maini was also tugging the shirt of Carstensen.
Nodded on by Rierson. Here's Malen going after it. No nonsense clearance by Chabot. And Rierson to throw it back in play for Borussia Dortmund. Malen and Martel for company. Free kick it'll be.
Well, of the Dortmund players, he's been the most impressive so far, Marlon. A couple of good runs. He's finding positions just in field. He's won his team a free kick here. Foul by Waldschmidt.
Yeah, it was Waldschmidt right beside Martel, and the contact came from Luca Waldschmidt. Sabitzer and Brandt together.
Zonal marking from Kkoln, as you can see, just outside the 6-yard box.
Brandt taking it. Sabitzer. Jan. In by Reus. And that's not going to trouble anyone. It's Marlon who made the leap for Dortmund, with Hummels up from the back as well.
Yeah, the ball played in. Once again, I think, on the diagonal. Hummels got up well, just couldn't guide his header goalwards. He is a threat in the air, as we know. Hummels and Zula, two massive centre-halves.
Forward then by Schwebe. Direct approach, looking for Zerke. Here's Waldschmidt. Jubicic. Schmitz, who does like to get forward. It was Carstensen waiting inside the area.
Well, you said it, route one. Zelke won the first ball. Waldschmidt got onto it. They got it wide. Good cross into the box. Very much the way that Kkoln like to play, as we have a drinks break here, or a cooling off break.
Yep, little pause midway through the first half. It's been a very humid day here in Dortmund. Chance for Edin Terzic to talk it over with his players.
Yeah, maybe a chance for you to wipe your sunglasses to get that little bit of moisture off them.
Well, Köln, who can be very dogged opponents, defeated Dortmund in the home game last season. The wrong end of a thrashing in the reverse fixture here. Just when Dortmund began to really hit form and actually ended up top of the table. We know what happened to Julian Nagelsmann and Bayern after that.
Your German is better than mine, Derek. What's he saying?
Just trying to get his message across, but the microphone was a little bit far away, so I couldn't quite hear it. And we do have to tell you about another programme coming up. Opening weekend of Bundesliga continuing tomorrow on ESPN+. Union hosting Mainz at the Stadion an der Alten Försterei in Berlin-Köpenick. Kick-off at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and coverage beginning at 9:20 Eastern on ESPN+.
Here is the chance again. Lovely first-time ball. Ljubicic times his pass perfectly, and he does everything right. He takes his touch onto his right foot, he takes it away from Zula. He put Zula on his backside, but unfortunately for him, he then hit Zula with the shot. But excellent play from Kkoln. The best we've seen from both sides, from either side so far.
Match facts powered by AWS. Ball recovery time, and you can see Dortmund a lot quicker on that front than Köln. But 0-0, the most important statistic of all. Delighted you've chosen to join us. We mentioned ESPN Plus, you never need to miss a game. All the Bundesliga matches on Plus. Here's Sabitzer and Brandt. It's helped on its way there. Sabitzer again. Reus was in the centre. Away by Timo Hübers. And trying to bring it under control was Rierson. Dennis Eideken, highly respected figure, looked on here, but nothing given. Reus went down.
No, I think he's right again. Reus went down rather easily.
Alea, a player on the ground now.
It's actually his mistake. I don't think that was a foul. He's got away with that one, Alea.
Hobbling on, Sebastian Aller. Well, the boots he wore on World Cancer Day. He mentioned that goal against Freiburg. Actually got to hold them aloft as part of a special programme we made the other day over at the German Football Museum here in Dortmund. Had to wear white gloves, as they are a precious item in the museum. But I would say, if you're ever here in Dortmund, then do pay the Football Museum a visit. Well worth it. Some great stories brought to life, and we are celebrating 60 years of the Bundesliga. Official birthday coming up this Thursday. Don't think Keitz expected to get on the end of that one. And that was an important piece of defending in the end by Mats Hummels. Deafening noise being generated by both sets of fans here, but the Kkoln fans away to our right at the moment, especially voluble.
I've got to say, I've been at many stadiums in many parts of the world. The atmosphere today is as good as anything I've heard or experienced.
Keitz was in the wide position. That one's going to drift out of play. This country, this league is so hard to beat for atmosphere. It's the largest crowd that you'll find anywhere in Europe this weekend. Record ticket sales in the Bundesliga last term. And this only the beginning, a goal-rich start to the 2023-24 campaign. No scoring so far here, and it's with Niklas Süle. Sabitzer looking for Malen. Pakarada committing himself. Daniel Malen. Behind him was Emre Can. Gave himself a bit of a pep talk. Back in February, felt his performances had been below par. Really took off after that. Ryerson. Dangerous ball, and Benno Schmitz behind for the corner.
Well, that's where I think that Borussia Dortmund looked at their most dangerous when they bring it down this right-hand side. Good switch of play. Marlon had got in field, as you can see, and when he delivers the ball into the box, he does well, the right back round on the cover, Schmitz.
Matthias Sammer looking on. Technical advisor, former Meister trainer with Dortmund. Brandt with this one. Emre Can. Sabitzer. Julian Brandt returning the favour to Marcel Sabitzer. Doing their best to cut out the cross initially. Maybe Waldschmidt can break here. He is skillful. And so is Florian Keitz. Being held up by Can. And then Julian Brandt. That piece of ball winning. Aller. Now did Kkoln just overcommit? Marcel got in the way, Rice for Brandt. Blocked immediately. See where Bensebaini has ended up. It's Ryerson. Now with Malen. Dortmund looking for a way through against this well-drilled Köln defence. Julian Brandt, that was lovely play! Schwebe got the important touch on the ball for Köln.
Great turn. Julian Brandt's got away from his man, change of pace as well. And he's hitting it into the right areas. Here's the turn. Great second touch. I think he's right to shoot rather than cross it. He's just hit it with power. And an excellent save in the end. Schwebe. Best moment for Borussia Dortmund.
Brandt to take it for the Schwarz-Gelben. Martel away, and then Waldschmidt only as far as Emre Can, and off Luca Waldschmidt, spinning high and behind for what will be another Borussia Dortmund corner.
Well, that was a good leap from Haller on that occasion. From the first set play, here it is. Certainly no handball again.
Brandt and Reus glancing it. Oh no! Poor Hummers arriving on the scene. Didn't quite happen.
Well, that's not good marking at the near post. Reus gets a good touch on it. Two players coming in. Hummels being one of them. Just can't get there, can he? Gets a touch on it. What a good little header that was from Marco Reus. But she'd never be allowed that space in at the near post area.
Here's Jeff Chabot for Kkoln. Very difficult to get a Kkoln ticket. Same applies here in Dortmund. I always say to people, good luck. If you have a connection, then use it. That is the problem with the stadium in Köln, Müngersdorf. Holds just 50,000, and the fact of the matter is they could certainly accommodate many more than that on a week-to-week basis. Much loved club. Ben Sebaini over there for Dortmund. They beat Manchester United on tour in the USA. They drew with Chelsea. At the end of that tour, they certainly considered it a worthwhile exercise. There was a lot of marketing involved, but Edin Terzic said it really helped them to go through their paces, to prepare properly for this new Bundesliga season and another crack at the Meisterschale.
Yeah, it was a good tour for them. He wasn't particularly happy with one of the two of the earlier games, although they didn't lose them. But they got better as the pre-season went on, Borussia Dortmund.
There's Malen. That was nicely done. Just beyond him was Reus. Huber's away. On the touchline towards Davy Selke. And radiant sunshine here in Dortmund. The opening match day, 61st Bundesliga season. Welcome to those of you watching on ABC, perhaps not regulars in terms of watching the Bundesliga. We hope you'll make a date with us on a weekly basis. ESPN Plus, every single game. And I hope you enjoyed the new Goal Arena, which debuted today. Goal Arena Bundesliga Conference, as the goals went flying in. That's a new feature. Kainz, Waldschmidt, here's Benno Schmitz, the Kölsche Kaful, they call him affectionately. Köln's answer to the great right back, the great Brazilian. It's said with a twinkle in the eye.
Yeah, what a player he was, Cafu. It's been a fairly decent first half. I'm not sure that Borussia Dortmund will be overly pleased with the way they've played. They haven't really been able to open up FC Köln so far. That one good effort from Julian Brandt. A couple of headers from set plays.
Away with the ball comes Davy Selke. Kainz off to the right. Carstensen initially making that run to the middle, but it's Selke. Carstensen still in the centre, and Selke might get a second bite at this one. Kainz, Eric Martel. The block was by Sabitzer for the Schwarz-Gelben. Hubers, good ball. Kainz giving it loft. Selke, the whistle has gone. Selke. Quizzical look there in the direction of Dennis Eitekin.
Shows again how easy it is at times for FC Köln to break. Here's the chance. A different view for Brandt. Hits it so well, and I say this is a very good save. Lutz, former goalkeeper, will probably tell us it was one he should make.
Well, we look forward to hearing Lutz Pfannenstiel with Kay Murray at half-time. Likewise, Archie Rintutt will shortly be making his way down pitch side with Arne Friedrich. Actually sitting next to me at the moment and looking very cool in his sunglasses.
I think he's found his role. He's now become the water carrier for us.
Yeah, he was very kind just seconds ago to provide us with liquid refreshment. Reminder, more opening weekend Bundesliga action tomorrow on ESPN+. Eintracht Frankfurt against newly promoted Darmstadt from the Deutsche Bank Park in Frankfurt. 11:30 a.m. Eastern coverage at 11:20 a.m. Eastern on ESPN+. A derby game for you to look forward to. Here's Waldschmidt. Ljubicic, not afraid to shoot, but trying to construct here. Carstensen, it was good stuff from Kkoln again, but no ultimate end product. Now, from time to time, giving Dortmund something to contemplate, Stuart.
Absolutely. When they counter-attack, I think they look the more threatening side. Now there's a chance for Dortmund for Emre Can.
And the game opening up. Can against Hubers. Schmitz trying to slow down Emre Can. Well, they combined in the end, Benno Schmitz and Timo Hubers. Down goes Can, looking over towards Dennis Eidegen, who says, on with the game. Brandt. Ryerson. Zule.
Brandt and Marlon have just swapped sides at the moment. Marlon's gone to the left. Brandt has come to the right-hand side.
Well, they have scope to do that. Now Allaire was waiting. Sent in by Ben Sebaini. Here's Brandt. Julian Brandt wanted to go it alone. Now Daniel Malen, having moved over to the left, but Schwebe was always going to get there. Part of the Mannschaftsrat, as it's known, the team council. Feature of every German club. You have the captain and sometimes a couple of vice-captains and 2 or 3 other players who form that, if you like, advisory group, usually representing all age groups within the squad.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Take some of the pressure off the manager as well. He's giving the players a chance to give their opinions. Shares the decision-making.
The new captain of Köln is Florian Kainz. Jonas Hector no longer part of the equation, sadly. Now, Zelke getting in behind the defence. Hummels trying to cover up. And, well, the flag going up. Zelke continued his canter.
Yeah,
this is what happened.
Yeah, I think he probably knew he was offside. He's a good yard offside. Makes his run too early. And then doesn't really make the most of it once he got into that position, but he's always going to be offside. Good decision by the assistant.
It's Dr. Martin Thomsen as the assistant referee on the far side here at the Signal Iduna Park. Sabitzer got himself into a spot of bother there. Martel, and now Ljubicic loves to storm forward in this fashion. Dejan Ljubicic, well, he can be shot happy. Scored a spectacular goal on match day 1 last season for Köln against Schalke.
But I think he's played well. There again, Sabitzer gives the ball away. Zelke wins it back. Not a great effort in the end from Ljubicic, but he's been impressive. He's started a lot of their counter-attacks, Ljubicic.
Zule. Right on top of him was Carstensen. Sabitzer labouring just a bit. Niklas Zule. Gregor Korber, haven't really mentioned him to any great extent at all, but one of the best goalkeepers in the Bundesliga. Sadly, many will remember him last term for that blunder against Bayern. He came out and tried to aim his foot at the ball, missed it completely. Now, Malen. What can he do from this position? Daniel Malen, but there's Schwebe to fall on the ball. And it's still a blank score sheet here in Dortmund through 40 minutes.
Well, they had to make more of that. Marlon, Ben Sebaini was making a run as well outside of him. But he just runs it into the defender in the end. With a good switch of play down this near side.
Carstensen trying to feed it through to Zelke. Kkoln fans, and there are many, by the way, now in the USA, up and down the United States, big supporters gatherings. Kkoln fans were a bit worried about Zelke because in his absence it might have been a different sort of game plan. Stefan Tigges, former Dortmund player, has been injured this summer. They do like to get into wide areas, they like to cross the ball, they like to have somebody to cross to. Mats Hummels, Emre Can, exchanging passes with Marco Reus. Here is Sabitzer. Bensebaini back to the Austrian, Marcel Sabitzer. Can. Ryerson off to the right, on the ball now. Kkoln having to do plenty of work without the ball. That was to be expected. Here's Can. Ryerson. Brandt and Malen. And the flick, stylish from Malen. Brandt up a cul-de-sac though. Good read by Ljubicic. And now Zelke. Kites bundled to the ground just as that was developing.
Emre Can, the player that committed the foul. Really good play again. Ljubicic won the ball back with a sliding challenge. They played round the pressure. Not been easy for the two central midfield players, Emre Can and Sabitzer.
How would you sum up the pattern of play, what we've seen? How impressive have Dortmund been? How rigorous have Köln been defensively?
I think it's been a struggle for Dortmund to play through FC Köln. They've looked at their best when they've switched the play. They've tried to create a 2v1 in the wide area. They've got to do that more and more in the second half. Very difficult. There's not too much space to play through FC Köln. And I have to say, FC Köln, when they have won the ball back, have looked very impressive on the counter.
Reus for Aller. So Dennis Heideggen, the referee, with the arms outstretched, letting the play flow. Just deciding to slow it down a bit here, the Schwarz-Gelben. Ryerson. Reminder, Kay Murray, Lutz Pfannenstiel, Archie Rinton, Arne Friedrich, all coming up at half-time.
It's not a bad lineup, is it?
It's a pretty impressive one, I'd say. Bensebaini and Hubers. Reus, picked up by Lutz Pfannenstiel, as still the key man for Dortmund, no longer the captain. Idea was good, Sabitzer was waiting. Martel again back there as the extra cover player. Brandt this time. And that suits Köln. Down to the ground. First half ebbs away. Here in the Dortmund sunshine. Edin Terzic will shortly be able to address his charges. Get his message across.
I think he's got quite a bit of work to do at half-time, Edin Terzic. You need to get off to a good start. If you are going to challenge for the title, you need to build that confidence. You need to get a good start. Not put any doubt in your minds. That's why they really need a win today, Borussia Dortmund.
As you saw from the board, Florian Heft, the fourth official, 2 minutes to be added on. Bensebaini and Hubers almost effortlessly Zelke. Kkoln on the break. It's Kainz. Carstensen, Florian Kainz. Trying to win the corner, but it doesn't go the way of FC.
Another good counter. Emre Can had to go out wide and deal with the situation, but I think he'll be pleased with the first half. The manager of Kkoln, Stefan Baumgart, not quite so happy that man there.
And the goal-rich pattern has been broken this first half, but it has been absorbing. Both teams have had their moments. And as you said, Kkoln undoubtedly happier with 0-0 than Dortmund will be. Zule. Homers for Zabitzer. Most Dortmund fans see it as quite the coup for the club to have signed Marcel Zabitzer. We have Felix Metscher as well, not quite fit to start this game, but should give them a bit of bite in midfield also. Never going to be able to replace Jude Bellingham on a like-for-like basis. Have to be creative in terms of your thinking. Zule, maybe the last opportunity for Aller and company in this first half. Hubers was taking care of Sebastian Aller, and he has been kept in check. The half-time whistle is sounded here at the Signal Iduna Park, and Köln defending doggedly, trying to use Davy Zelke when they can. If you look at the X-goals, 0.59 versus 0.31. But Stefan Baumgart will be happy about the defensive spirit his team has shown. Kay Murray will pick it up in the studio, but at half-time it is Dortmund 0, Köln 0.
What if you could make analyzing a big bank's data no big deal?
Go on.
Well, what if you partner with IBM and Red Hat, use a hybrid cloud solution to connect data across clouds, then analyze all that data with Watson?
Okay, but this needs to meet our...
Security standards? Yep.
Compliance standards?
Mm-hmm.
So they get the insights they need.
Yep.
In real time.
Check.
To make quick decisions.
Check.
And check.
That's the solution IBM and a global bank created. What will you create? IBM. Let's create.
Hey, CoverGirls, plant power? It's a game changer. Introducing the ultimate plant-powered mascara, Cleantopia. 300% extreme lush volume with 100% plant cellulose fibers. Let's go to Cleantopia. New Lash Blast Cleantopia from CoverGirl.
The thought of getting screened for colon cancer made me queasy.
But now I've found a way that's right for me. Feels more easy.
My doc and I agreed. I picked the time. Today's a good day.
I screened with Cologuard and did it my way.
Cologuard is a one-of-a-kind way to screen for colon cancer that's effective and non-invasive. It's for people 45 plus at average risk, not high risk. False positive and negative results may occur. Ask your provider for Cologuard.
I did it my way.
Life needs great teammates. Be there for yours. With retirement, benefits, and life insurance products, Symetra is your teammate for whatever lies ahead.
Feel the difference with players built different. Every player in Madden 24 is built different with Sapien technology.
The FedEx Cup playoffs on ESPN+.
What a wonderful pre-game atmosphere we have seen in the Signal Iduna Park. Don't know if that little guy was going to share that pretzel there, but so far it is scoreless at the Signal Iduna Park. It's shaping up to be a tight contest, and Kkoln are showing themselves to be no pushover either. And in fact, it was Kkoln who struck first in terms of big warning shots here. This one from Selke. Zula just doing enough to block him there.
Yeah, I think Selke did everything right, but he was a monster tackle here by the big centre back. And he just kisses the crossbar as well.
30th minute, we're going to see a chance here from Julian Brandt. And you were asked in the broadcast by Stuart Robson what you made of the goalkeeper here.
Yeah, Stuart saw it. Schweber did everything right. He makes himself big, he doesn't speculate, and it's a brilliant save.
And then here, we're just going to see from a corner, Mats Hummels not managing to get the connection he needs here. It was a lovely glancing header on the way to him.
Nice flick on here from Royce, and Hummels just misses by an inch.
So it is 0-0 as it stands between these two sides, but it's not likely to stay that way given what we know about this Dortmund side, especially when they are playing at home. And given the fact that there have been goals galore on this match day as well. Kay Murray and Lutz Van and Steel here with you in the studio. Thank you so much for being with us for our coverage of the Bundesliga. What have you made of that first half so far?
Yeah, Köln really came out on fire as well. They defend well, you know, they're intense, they make the life very difficult. But it looked like Dortmund was in control of the game. They didn't create that many real big chances apart from that one save, I think, from Schwebe, which was great. But on the counter-attack, especially with Schwebe, Ljubicic up front and Kainz, where there is also some speed, Köln looks dangerous, and I think so far it's quite an interesting game. It's challenging, and Dortmund needs to step up a bit if they want to win the game.
So the happier manager so far at the halfway mark is Baumgartner?
I think both can be pretty happy. I think with the result, for sure, Steffen Baumgart is the happier one. But Terzic, I think, will know exactly where to spin a little bit here and spin a bit there. And let's look at the bench. There is so much more offensive power out there that there is plenty of game changers on the bench.
OK, talking about those game changes then, what do you think we might be seeing in this second half of action to switch something up here?
Well, I think Dortmund needs to let the ball flow a little bit more. They need to make the opponent run a bit more. I think that's the most important thing. Try to have a good balance between attacking and defending.
Yeah, so make sure to stick around with us here because we do still have plenty to come for you in terms of Bundesliga action. It is the opening round, and so far these men have been making a statement. Harry Kane with a goal and an assist on his debut for Bayern, and Xabi Alonso's Leverkusen off to a flying start.
What if buildings could tell you how they could be more efficient?
I'm listening.
Well, with IBM, you can use software to help you connect and analyze data from HVACs to elevators to lights.
What if we use AI-driven insights to pinpoint inefficiency?
Yep, and act on it. Saving energy, money.
And emissions.
Yep, that's a big one. Now you've built something better for everyone. That's the sustainability solution IBM and a global real estate company created. What will you create? IBM, let's create.
Yeah, with Metro, there's no contracts, no price hikes, no surprises. There's not a yada yada.
Wait, Metro has not the contract yada yada?
With this surprise yada yada. Price hike yada yada. Yada 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 yada.
Contract yada yada.
And this yada yada. I don't know, kid. That one makes sense.
Nada yada yada means wireless without the gotcha. No contracts, no price hikes, no surprises. Only at Metro.
I'm hearing different ways for me to screen for colon cancer.
It's time to use my voice. I've got a choice, more than one answer.
I sat down with my doc. We had a talk. Knew just what to say.
I asked for Cologuard and did it my way.
Cologuard Cologuard is a one-of-a-kind way to screen for colon cancer that's effective and non-invasive. It's for people 45 plus at average risk, not high risk. False positive and negative results may occur. Ask your provider for Cologuard.
I did it my way.
Life needs great teammates. Be there for yours. With retirement, benefits, and life insurance products, Symetra is your teammate for whatever lies ahead.
We're at the midway point between Borussia Dortmund and Kkoln, and so far the sides cannot be separated. It is goalless at the half. There have been shots at either end as well, and Kkoln are proving to be no pushovers. As for Werder Bremen, didn't quite go their way on the opening day, but it did go Bayern Munich's way. This was the opening goal for them, first goal of the season. Harry Kane on the assist, Leroy Sané with the goal.
Yeah, brilliant goal where you see straight away the quality of Kane.
And then we did get to see Kane get that opening goal for his new team. Alphonso Davies with the assist.
Yeah, cool as a cucumber. 2-0.
More goals would follow. Thomas Muller getting in on the action for Sané to make it 3-0, and Mathys Tel as well there, with the 4-0 coming up. Now, a lot of talk about Leipzig, especially given that Super Cup result. And then there's Leverkusen under Xabi Alonso. A lot of excitement about them, and there should be. Here's their opening goal today from Jeremy Frimpong.
Nice little vision here, and then bad marking in the centre.
More goals would come for this side, as you can see the scoreline here. It was a bit of a back and forth for them. Leverkusen would win it in the end, 3-2. And that is an opening day statement for them. Look at the goals that we've seen across the match day so far. Hello, Stuttgart, 5-0 against Bochum, and also Augsburg, with a comeback of their own against Gladbach, but in the end, that game finished 4-4. We are going to send it out to our team pitchside, though, at the Signal Iduna Park. It's Archie Rintutt and Anna Friedrich.
Thanks, Kate. That was not the first half we were necessarily expecting, Anna Friedrich. And I wasn't expecting to say to you, first of all, Kkoln are really good.
I was really impressed by Kkoln. Their defensive shape is really amazing, to be honest. So especially Waldschmidt and Carsten play a very important role to me, because against the ball they drop deep. They kind of play in a 4-4-2 against the ball, which is very hard for Borussia Dortmund to outplay on the outside. And I think Kkoln defends very well, but they had also really a good chance in the 16th minute with Selke. So I think it's a tough cookie to play against today.
So what are Dortmund not doing enough of right now? When Edin Terzic spoke to me before the game, he was talking about the importance of moving the ball quickly, and to my eye, that's one of the things that's not happened so far.
I think they have to improve that. Sometimes it was dangerous, but always if they play vertical balls, I mean, they need to find gaps in between the midfield and the defensive line of Kkoln. That's very important, because if Kkoln is in shape, it's very hard to break through. So therefore they need to move the ball a little faster, and sometimes obviously try to use one-on-ones on the outside.
Is the answer off the bench for Dortmund today? I've just seen Jamie Bino Gittens warming up, and he always gives this sort of impulsive energy. And I'm thinking, breaking down this Kkoln side, it's going to need something like that.
Of course, he's a very important player, but in general, they need to move the balls way faster, Borussia Dortmund. I think that's the key. And obviously, they have enough quality up front to make the difference. But I also wonder how long Kkoln is able to play against Borussia Dortmund in this pace.
45 minutes to go. But right now, whisper it quietly, Kkoln are doing very well here in what is a very difficult place to come to. Just don't tell their supporters, because they are renowned, Kay, for whenever you compliment them, they then think we're going to win the league. And I wouldn't go that far yet. Back to you.
Well, that would definitely be a push. It certainly would. But coming up, it will be the second half from Dortmund after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
What if you could make analyzing a big bank's data no big deal?
Go on.
Well, what if you partner with IBM and Red Hat, use a hybrid cloud solution to connect data across clouds, then analyze all that data with Watson?
Okay, but this needs to meet our...
Security standards? Yep.
Compliance standards?
Mm-hmm.
So they get the insights they need.
Yep.
In real time.
Check.
To make quick decisions.
Check.
and check.
That's the solution IBM and a global bank created. What will you create? IBM. Let's create.
I'm hearing different ways for me to screen for colon cancer.
It's time to use my voice. I've got a choice, more than one answer.
I sat down with my doc. We had a talk. Knew just what to say.
I asked for Cologuard and did it my way.
Cologuard is a one-of-a-kind way to screen for colon cancer that's effective and non-invasive. It's for people 45 plus at average risk, not high risk. False positive and negative results may occur. Ask your provider for Cologuard.
I did it my way.
Life needs great teammates. Be there for yours. With retirement, benefits, and life insurance products, Symetra is your teammate for whatever lies ahead.
7 live seasons, thousands of NFL players, legends, and rewards. One dream team. Build the ultimate football roster.
It's that New York City buzz. It's the spark for the crowd. It's seeing the stars and feeling like one. It's fire on the court and off. It's through the roof electricity and way beyond. It's edge of your seat and up on your feet. It's US Open energy.
Superb racing.
player out there. Now, Ljubicic, this could be promising. Carstensen for Kkoln. Had a lot to do. And it took a determined effort. Zule and Hummels combining forces there to thwart him.
Well, there's the counter-attack again. Zule didn't see the danger. And it was Hummels that came across it eventually. Just about dealt with the situation. Worrying moment for Dortmund.
Well, the Kkoln counters have been laced with a bit of danger at times. Davy Selke earlier firing a shot that took a deflection off the top of the crossbar.
Now, Lutz will tell me that Zule is one of the quickest players in the Bundesliga when he gets going. But he has to read the danger first of all. There's the foul that has given that free kick away, and he didn't read the danger there. He was slow to react.
Florian Kainz is over there. Selke waiting in the middle. Hubers is up from the back, so is Chabot. Kainz with the delivery. Aller almost nonchalantly away. Kkoln try again. Kainz faced by Malen. And that goes harmlessly through for what will be a goal kick to Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah, Kainz thought it was a corner. So did he. But Nisby, I think he'd be very pleased with that first half. Here is the cross. No, he just kicks the ground. Right decision by the officials.
Mentioned Dejan Ljubicic and the running he did, 6.4 kilometres in the first half. Erik Martel as well. Likewise 6.4 kilometres. Now, the busy Kainz can be very creative. Selke trying to get into his stride. Chasing back was Mats Hummels for Dortmund. And a corner this time. Corner to Kkoln, right in front of their supporters.
Well, they haven't learnt their lesson, have they? Dortmund, at the start of this second half, gave the ball away again. It's easy for Kkoln to attack. I just wonder whether Selke has got a problem here, because he should have been running in behind Hummels there, and he just slowed down. I think he could be coming off.
Kainz will take it. Plenty of tall targets for him to aim at. Florian Kainz trying to swing it away. It was Martel closest there. Well, not to be for Kkoln. And I think Davy Selke has sent the message to the bench that his day is likely done.
Good header. He's had a good game, Martel.
There is Sargis Adamian, who's about to come on, and Selke is now down. And so there's going to have to be a change here for Kkoln, and this changes things in terms of the style, in terms of what they might emphasise, because you can tell by looking at Selke what sort of player he is. He has pace, but he's good in the air. Adamian is better on the ground.
But most of their threat has been from counter-attacks, where they've passed it quite slickly. When you think his chance in the first half was from a couple of good passes, he got it onto his right foot. Zule made a very good and important block. But that's a bit of a blow for Kkoln.
Sargis Adamian, best known for his time at Hoffenheim. Yes, that's where our studio guest Lutz Pfannenstiel used to work. So Selke, disappointingly, if you're a Kkoln fan, will be a spectator for the remainder of this game. But, well, Stefan Baumgart had a humorous remark. Adamian is on now. Scored on Monday in the Pokal first round win away to VfL Osnabrück. The referee Dennis Heideken just jogging over, having a look at the ball, and a replacement has been provided. All is well now. And very shortly that sun is going to disappear behind the stand. And I don't think we're going to be bemoaning that fact, Stuart. We'll be looking right into it for the opening 52 minutes.
I don't think the players will mind it too much either. It's been a hot few days, hasn't it, in Germany?
Certainly has been. Here's Bensebaini for Borussia Dortmund. Marlin just waiting for Rierson. Wasn't the perfect pass though. Pacarada made a bit of a mess of it. Martel, and sliding that one behind. A corner here for BVB. Borussia Dortmund right in front of the yellow wall. And Brandt in position to take it. Royce is up there, just a couple of meters away from Schwebe. Julian Brandt, and there's the header. Hummels trying to direct it on target.
Well, set plays have looked a threat. He makes his run, times his run perfectly. Good leap as well, as you'd expect from such a good header of the ball. But nobody coming round the back. Both sides have looked fairly threatening from set plays, particularly corners.
Waldschmidt did well. Adamian having come on, trying to make an impact. Carstensen, his first Bundesliga appearance. And this is good stuff from Kkoln. Ljubicic was involved, and Adamian. Oh, Como was there. It comes off the face, I think, of Waldschmidt. Pinball inside the penalty area. And a sore one for Waldschmidt, but, well, the warning issued by Kkoln.
Good play, Carstensen. I wonder if he was offside when the ball was played. Adamian. But a very good save from Kobel.
And this is the problem for Dortmund. Yes, you might say they've, to a large extent, controlled the flow of the game, the possession of the game, but Köln have looked menacing when they've been able to launch those counters.
And at times it hasn't even been counters, it's been just generally good play.
Yeah.
There was a lovely little 1-2 down the right-hand side. Carstensen getting in. Far too easy.
Here's Bensebaini. And misplaced pass. Few groans audible around us. Schmitz forward, up jumps Hummels. Now Kainz got himself on the ball. It's with Adamian. Schmitz going after it, never stops running and working. Benno Schmitz, man from Munich, has Bayern in his past. Well, that's what happened seconds ago. Schmitz, Bensebaini.
Yeah, certainly the right decision for all his moaning. Bensebaini didn't get a touch on it.
Brandt. That was nicely done. Marlin. Hubers trying to chase back. Marco Reus taking over. Reus! What a save by Schwebe. Flag was up anyway. Offside, the decision on the pitch. Well, Reus querying that one.
And clearly offside, Haller. Brandt took too long to get the pass away. This is good play eventually. Good save as well, Schwebe. Haller was certainly interfering with play, even if he might not have got a touch on it.
Well, there is going to be a change shortly. We've been getting a few of the substitutes warmed up, Borussia Dortmund. It's not bad when you have the likes of Karim Adeyemi, Youssoufa Moukoko in reserve. The potential to change things for the better, but here come Köln again. It was Kainz with the initial pass. Attacking zones, they favoured the right. Have Kkoln, Ljubicic, but played his way into a bit of a dead end there. And Jan forward, and Aller with the touch, but that doesn't work out. Hubers back to Schwebe, still 0-0. It's tension-packed first Saturday Topspiel of the new Bundesliga season.
Well, a challenge right down below us. Certainly don't think it was a foul.
Yeah, Ljubicic here, Stuart.
Yeah, Ljubicic. Well, both players collide with each other. I don't think any blame can be given to Marco Reus, although when his foot does hit the ground, it does take a bit of Ljubicic with it. What a good coach he's been for Kkoln.
Certainly the case. Dennis Eideken with a word right into the ear of Stefan Baumgart. It's going to be Felix Metscher coming on. Having joined during the summer from Wolfsburg. He's just reaching for the water bottle. And Jan, the captain, departs as well. It's Moukoko on the pitch now for Borussia Dortmund. Aller, as we mentioned, failed to really influence this match. So Metscher will give them drive in midfield. This will mean a different sort of attacking setup. Robert Dickel, who's the very well-known PA announcer here, former Dortmund striker, confirming the substitutions. And Moukoko, not the sort of player like Aller, who's likely to line up with his back to goal and be that sort of all-encompassing striker. Now, Waldschmidt for Kkoln. Now to arrow it forward in the general direction of Carstensen. Reus. Hummels.
A couple of big decisions by the coach, Edin Terzic, taking off your centre forward, Aller, who didn't really affect the game, but also taking off your captain, Emre Can. Sabitzer has gone back very much in the holding midfield role. They've just changed the system slightly. Reus and Metscher are going to play in behind Moukoko. Marlon and Brandt playing slightly narrower, and the fullbacks are going to play really high.
Here is Daniel Marlon. Brandt. That's in the right position to gobble it up was Hubers. Marcel Sabitzer. Riasson. Exercise in frustration this for Dortmund. Can they find a way through? Daniel Marlon. A sprightly play, but again, Kkoln defensively taking care of the situation. Hummels. Oh, disappointing pass. Riasson was available to the right. Gives the Kkoln players a chance to catch their breath. We've gone past the hour mark, and 0-0 here. Gregor Kobel now with the armband. Emre Can, the new captain, taken off. Hansi Flick, the Bundestrainer, in attendance. Germany's national coach. Süle, and Adamian was trying to force a mistake from Niklas Süle. It's Adamian, who had perhaps his best ever day as a professional with Hoffenheim, when he and his teammates went to the Allianz Arena and beat Bayern. Came up with a brace. Now a Kkoln player, been a bit unlucky on the injury front. Certainly by no means a regular, Ben Sebaini, but Dennis Eideken had blown his whistle just before he managed to get on the ball on this left-hand side, and it's still goalless here at the Signal Iduna Park, in contrast to what we've seen prior to this. On the opening weekend of the Bundesliga season, there was a little flick off the fingertips of Ben Sebaini, Stuart.
Handball given, frustration for Ben Sebaini. It's a good bit of play. Hummels playing the ball into Brandt, who sucked the ball back in, and then they got the ball back out wide to Ben Sebaini. needed to make more of that.
Rice with Ljubicic, draped all over him. Former Rapid Wien player Dejan Ljubicic.
Hasn't done too much wrong tonight, Ljubicic. I think he's been excellent.
Julian Brandt surveys the scene. Dortmund looking for inspiration, looking for a bit of magic. Might take that to unlock this Kkoln defence. Brandt with it, and Schwebe watched as it was played in there. He was hoping that Hummels might be able to make decent contact with it.
Well, it's a great delivery. Well, any decent touch, Hummels scores. Really good ball played into the box. Just needs to get it with the inside of his right boot. Great opportunity.
Here is Waldschmidt. This untidy play by Ryerson, and the free kick given. Dennis Eidegen has tried to let the play flow. To keep his card in his pocket. Stefan Baumgart doing his usual prowling the technical area. Can Kkoln take advantage of this set play? Heinz this time running over it. Bacarada and Zule with a high header away. Carstensen was there. Kkoln gets both hands on it. This meeting of Western teams, Traditionsvereine, teams with tradition right at the core of who they are. Borussia Dortmund and 1. FC Köln. Brandt with the throw here. Reus and Bensebaini. Zule, Julian Ryerson, now Malen. Chabot. That's a very determined figure back there.
Going to see a couple of substitutions here for the away team.
Yes, it's Köln's turn to alter things now. Interestingly, number 11 on the board there. That applies to and Keynes, but Carstensen is also going to go off. That's it for Keynes, the captain. So both skippers replaced. Matthias Olesen is one of the players to come on, and the other is Max Finkgräfe. Very high hopes for him, the 19-year-old. Getting a taste of what the Bundesliga is all about. This cauldron that is the Signal Iduna Park. Zule. Back it goes to Kkoln. Energetic crowd. 81,000 inside. Won't find a larger crowd anywhere in Europe this weekend, or most weekends. Brandt and Reus as they try to slice up in the Köln defence. And through it goes once more.
Reus hasn't really impacted the game, has he? As he might have done. He's playing in the role behind the main centre forward. He's tried to get involved in the game, but they've been so narrow at times, goal in midfield. It's been so difficult for him to get on the ball.
Stefan Baumgart. Really is non-stop in the technical area. As he has famously said, the game isn't over until the referee blows his whistle, and I have stopped yelling. it's pretty much true.
I think he was actually talking about you. Stop yelling. Carstensen is still on the field, and the player that went off is Waldschmidt. So all the attacking players that started the game are now off the pitch for Kkoln.
See Adamian in the centre of the attack. Olesen fairly high up. In goes the diligent Ljubicic. Finkgräfe is over there on the left. Rice, see how deep he is at present. Midway through the second half. 0-0 between Dortmund and Köln. Julian Brandt. That red wall has been in place for much of this game. Can Dortmund break it down? Zula and Malen. Well, they're not going to break it down this time. And Schwebe in no great rush. And we are going to see another substitution, as I mentioned earlier on. They're pretty rich in potential options. The likes of Adeyemi available too. Aki Watzke there, the CEO of Dortmund. And another stoppage, another break in the proceedings. And Karim Adeyemi will come on. Another player who's been nursing an injury. Otherwise might well have started. And it gives us a chance to take stock, Stuart, of what we've been watching. Still 0-0 here.
Well, I have to say that Köln have been, in my view, the more dangerous team. Whenever they've counter-attacked, they've looked threatening, they've been composed with their counter-attacks. It's just been that final ball. Royce, we just said, hasn't really affected the game. He's now coming off for Adeyemi. Adeyemi, who's got that bit of pace, he can run with the ball. Can he affect the game here?
Adeyemi for Rice, the Dortmund change. Let us remind you about the opening weekend coverage continuing tomorrow on ESPN Plus. Union against Mainz, live from the Stadion an der Alten Försterei in Berlin-Köpenick. 9:30 a.m. Eastern for kickoff, coverage from 9:20 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Plus, the home of the Bundesliga. So Adeyemi for Rice. Well, that give Dortmund the lift they need. That yellow wall is really going to explode if there is to be a late goal. But Köln doing everything in their power to prevent that. And they have had a couple of looks at goal themselves. It's been a resourceful performance by the Baumgart elf.
Just can't keep it in play here. Might have twisted his ankle as well as he went for that ball. Looks as though he's okay. Then Sabaini.
Just beside his coach, Edin Terzic. Well, we hope to hear from after the final whistle. Archie Rintut, as usual, will be doing his stuff. That'll be on ESPN Plus. You want to switch over to ESPN Plus for all the post-game coverage if you are on ABC. And that's something to look forward to. Now, Köln on the front foot. Finkgräfe. Sure, the nerves are jangling a bit as far as the youngsters concerned. Zabitzer. Adeyemi. Trying to do a bit of dribbling. Schmitz was there, though. And Adamian. Ben Sabaini away. Dortmund just can't relax when Köln get into those more advanced positions. Schmitz, and it's Adeyemi. Free kick it's going to be.
Got to say, they look a really well-organised side here. Köln with a broken flag.
Yeah. Replacement swiftly provided. Waiting for the ball to drop here. Olesen. That's the man going after it, but Hummels, his direct opponent. Here's Marcel Sabitzer. Adeyemi getting on the end of that Sabitzer pass. Carstensen over eager Free kick is given. Oh, it's actually going the other way. Oh, the flag just being checked. A new one. Morning repairs carried out. Edouard biting it on this near side. Now, Adamian for Kkoln. To steady himself. And finally, puts in the errant challenge on Bensebaini.
Good challenge as well by Bensebaini. Had to make it.
Hummers. The wait goes on for a goal. And make no mistake, 0-0 is much better from a Kkoln point of view than it is if you're a Dortmund fan watching this, and there are many Dortmund fans around the United States, the various watch parties today, opening match of the season. This is certainly not the outcome they were hoping for. Mecha just touched that on to Moukoko. Adeyemi, Moukoko looking to get the break of the ball, but then commits the foul. Youssoufa Moukoko waving at referee Dennis Eitigen in annoyance. Pleading his case. That's very much the Dennis Eitigen way, to have that calm demeanour, to put his arm around the player in question.
It's Chabot that comes across and defends it well. Some would say the foul could have gone the other way, but the referee gave it in Kkoln's favour. That was a good bit of play to start with by Adeyemi and Moukoko. But overall, I've been really disappointed in Borussia Dortmund. There's been no real pattern in their play. They find it difficult to break down Kkoln. Kkoln at the moment look the better coach team. They've got the better game plan. Borussia Dortmund looks a bit off the cuff at times.
There has been a very effective match plan by Stefan Baumgart, put together by Stefan Baumgart and his coaching staff. Adamian starting it through Carstensen, and Olesen was there. Ljubicic! He had eyes for goal, and he can't finish from that sort of position. Goodness me!
And that's what I was talking about. Once again, quick throw in. They work well down this right-hand side. Adeyemi needs to get a block in there. And Ljubicic just slices off his foot. Big chance. But your sense to goal is coming for FC Kkoln. I think they've been the better team so far.
Bensebaini. Dortmund know they've got to pick things up in the closing phase. Adeyemi, no joy for him. Kkoln trying to push forward again, but that pass was astray off the boot of Hubers. Bensebaini, and back the way to Hummers, and we're inside the final quarter of an hour. Dortmund, who don't want to lose ground here on match day one. Bayern victorious with some ease last night at the Weserstadion in Bremen. Great win for Bayer Leverkusen earlier against Leipzig. A thriller of a match. There are many who believe that it's not just going to be Bayern and Dortmund. It wasn't last season either. Leipzig were only 5 points behind the pair of them. And it stands to reason, if you look at Leverkusen, that their squad is much improved. Working under Xabi Alonso. Daniel Malen. Hummers for Bensebaini. At times for Dortmund it's been a bit like wading through treacle. But a goal would change the mood, and it's Süle who pings it in. Brandt had made the run, Adeyemi was already there. Now Olesen. Finkgräfe, the energetic youngster, but it's a bit wayward. Adamian was making that run. No chance for him to get there.
Once again, great counter-attack. soon as they win the ball, players are looking to break forward. They find that first pass, and it just buys them that bit of time and a bit of space for other players to join in. Been a very impressive performance by the away team here.
And I think for many of you who perhaps don't watch the Bundesliga every week, you are seeing that it's not just about 2 or 3 teams. There is quality up and down the league. Kkoln, who finished 11th last time around, lost not just Jonas Hector but also Timo Horn, long-time goalkeeper, and the excellent Elias Skiri to Frankfurt. And space here afforded Carstensen. What can he do with the ball? It's a great idea, and there's the save by Kkoln, and such an important one to deny Adamian. And Kkoln have been the better side for much of this second half. Still 0-0 though.
Big decision. Adamian, what does he do? Head it back across the goalkeeper. Does he go low? He decided to go low. What a pass that is from Carstensen. And Kkoln makes a good save. He can't react any better than that. Just moves that right foot to it.
Now Martin with that low ball. Olesen, confidence is high in the Kkoln cap. Flicked away by Bensebaini. Zuna, Kobel managing to grab it, quickly bowling it out. Bensebaini, it comes off Schmitz. Ljubicic was there, they're all working for each other, the FC players. Köln will go by the motto of Spürbar anders. Noticeably different in every way. For one thing, they have a live billy goat for a mascot, Hennes.
Bensebaini wants to come off. He's just held on to his calf and gestured to Edin Terzic. He can't carry on. I have to say, Köln also locked the fitter team of the two.
Yeah, it's a good point, Stuart.
They've carried on running, they've made good counter-attacks, they're first to the knockdowns on many occasions. Dortmund look heavy-legged at the moment.
Hummels and Bensebaini has it. We'll see if he's going to be able to carry on. Certainly labouring noticeably. Adeyemi really kicked on in the second half of the last campaign after struggling a bit when he first joined Borussia Dortmund. Zune approaching the final 10 minutes. Highly dramatic occasion here on match day 1. Dortmund certainly had designs on winning the game, but they've had questions asked of them. Full credit to Stefan Baumgart and Köln. They go to work again. Finkgräfe, but Malen decided to go all the way back there, and it's Hubers. And now Erik Martel. Adamian is waiting in the centre, wanted that quick ball play to him. Olesen instead goes left. Ljubicic. Midfield fulcrum. Martel. Schmitz. Usually the man who supplies the bulk of the crosses when he can get into attacking positions. It's not the ideal pass, but it's actually worked out here for Ljubicic and Köln. Dejan Ljubicic. Finkgräfe over there, trying to get around Ryerson. He's a much more experienced professional. Brandt.
Dortmund have lost their way here. Now Köln are also dominating possession. That's why we're going to see another couple of substitutions. That's a poor pass though.
And here's Adeyemi. Will be a couple of changes made shortly by Edin Terzic. Now here's Wolf to come on from a Köln player. Likewise Jamie Bino Gittens. And look at the space here afforded Köln. Dortmund directionless. Adamian with a spring in his step. Kobel fields it for Dortmund. And Hummels having words with his teammates just in front of him.
Well, he doesn't quite get hold of it. Goes inside. Bensebaini mishits the shot. Comfortable save. But Hummels was having a go at Adeyemi for giving the ball away in such a good area high up the field.
And here's a statistic for you, Stuart. Kkoln have managed to run 7 kilometres more than Dortmund in the course of this game.
And I'm not surprised, particularly in this second half. They've been first to the ball. They've counter-attacked brilliantly. And it's been a real struggle here for Borussia Dortmund.
See what happened to Mecha. Martel doing the fouling. And now for the changes. That's it for Bensebaini, the one that you spotted earlier, Stuart. Wolf to come on. He's versatile enough to play on the left, but so is Riasson. And Bino Gittens set to be the other player to come on. He's been trying to get over a shoulder operation. Bensebaini is off now. Seems to be an element of confusion there. Terzic talking it over. And Bino Gittens has been told to, I think, return to his seat. Chaos.
Chaos on the field. Chaos in the dugout. Now Riasson, I think, is coming off, and Hazard is coming on.
It's going to be Torgan Hazard on in place of Julian Riasson. Almost the forgotten man, Hazard. I think many, well, he might no longer be a Dortmund player at this juncture, but still wearing that yellow shirt. Brandt with a free kick. Dortmund need a bolt of lightning, and Hummels was up trying to cause a bit of havoc. Kkoln was in the vicinity as well.
Well, how far was he away from this? We've already seen one free kick, which he nearly got on the end on. Here it comes again. But he's got to go with his head there. He's got to go with his head. If he goes with his head, he's got every chance of scoring.
Edin Terzic, I think, just saying sorry there to Jamie Bino Gittens, who was fully prepared to come on. Here's Mecha. Rather a remarkable turn of events in this second half. Still 0-0. That doesn't tell the complete story, does it?
It certainly doesn't.
Adeyemi trying to make his way towards the byline and does succeed in winning the corner. Here's Wolf trying to conduct the orchestra there. The Südtribüne orchestra. They haven't had much to cheer about in the second half. Julian Brandt to take it. Inside the final 5 minutes of normal time. Brandt with it. Zule. Immediately stabbed away by Chabot. Hazard. Malen. Little chip through there. Mecha looking for scraps. Kkoln, they've been so well organised. Damian almost trying to dance with the ball at his feet. Hubers with a header forward. Ljubicic, but nobody up with him. And Dortmund have it again.
Could we have a dramatic finish here? You just sense it's coming, don't you?
Julian Brandt gliding through, touch on by Marius Wolf. Spent the 2021 season wearing the colours of Köln. Well-travelled player, highly versatile. Germany international now. Sabitzer for PVB. Ballspielverein Borussia. They give Dortmund their official name. They've underwhelmed in the second half, but still, they might be able to pull something out of the fire. Wolf. And another corner it'll be.
And this is when they've been at their most dangerous. Set plays, balls into the box. Hummels, Zula, Mecha, all good headers of the ball.
Julian Brandt in position, Mecha it was, and Malen has done it for Dortmund. In the closing stages, Daniel Malen. It didn't look as though the winner was coming. Dortmund outdone by Kkoln for large chunks of their second half. But then there was Daniel Malen. And a very different story has been written.
Well, here's the set play. We said they're dangerous. And Mecha wins the first ball. It's not the cleanest finish from Malen. He kicks it from one foot onto the other. And it just goes over. Bovada. It's a bit lucky. I don't think they deserve it, but it doesn't matter. They lead 1-0, and we sensed it was going to come from a set play. And there it is.
And the celebration in front of the yellow wall. Daniel Malen. Stefan Baumgart cannot digest what has happened. It is cruel on Kkoln. That you cannot deny, based on the way the second half has unfolded. But Malen, 20% on the goal probability. It wasn't pretty, but it was effective.
You can be organised, you can counter-attack well, you can defend well all around the field. If you don't defend set plays, and that's been their one weakness, Kkoln today, you're going to concede goals.
And Brandt now, Dortmund buoyed by that goal. Adeyemi, Kkoln is waiting in the centre, but it wasn't the ideal ball. And it's Ljubicic away for Kkoln. 5 foot with the pass this time, and Brandt. They try to show a bit of composure on the ball in the final minute of normal time.
Hazard playing as the left back at the moment.
Schmidt's just getting in the way of Malen, getting to the ball ahead of him. Well, in the minutes leading up to that goal by Malen, you would have said, in all honesty, if either side was going to score, you would have thought Kkoln. And it's gone the other way. And Adeyemi, recipient of the free kick here. A reminder, the second round of La Liga continues tomorrow on ESPN+. Defending champions Barcelona hosting Cadiz from the Catalan capital. 1:30 Eastern. Rematch coverage 1 Eastern. Luca Kilian is on. That's it for Carstens. Another change made by Stefan Baumgart. And a minimum of 6 minutes to be added on. And you and I are heading back to the Darmstadt, back to Kkoln. After this game, Stuart, I think we were visualising a little bit of a party. They do like to party at the best of times in the great city of Kkoln, on the banks of the Rhine. That might be a much grimmer atmosphere now, we shall see. And Dennis Eideken finally reaching for his pocket. And the card is shown. Malen, the goal scorer, now booked.
Yeah, desperate to either win the ball or make sure that Kkoln couldn't counter-attack.